The mess hall was buzzing like any ordinary noon, soldiers laughing, boots echoing, spoons clinking. Yet in that everyday noise, one silent detail rewrote the moment. A young woman serving rice, steady hands, calm eyes, carried a story carved on her skin. When the general caught sight of her tattoo, his tray didn't just fall, it crashed like a secret finally found. The moment the general noticed the tattoo tells us something powerful about the people we think we already understand. The woman serving food appeared to be part of the background of daily routine, someone moving through a cycle of trays and ladles. Yet her story lived far beyond the mess hall. Many people carry entire histories inside them that never make a sound. They walk beside us with memories stitched into their choices, burdens tucked behind steady expressions, lessons etched into their skin or hidden in the way they stand. The world often moves too quickly to notice these quiet signals, but when we pause long enough, we discover that ordinary roles are often doorways to extraordinary pasts. The tattoo was not just ink. It was a silent biography that had survived storms, victories, and turning points. In that single moment, the idea becomes clear that we should look at those around us not as background characters but as full stories in motion. Each person has faced something, overcome something, or guarded something precious. When we recognize this truth, we move closer to understanding the richness of human experience. Symbols have a way of speaking before a single word is exchanged. The tattoo carried a shape that the general instantly understood, a shape born from a shared legacy, a path familiar to him even though the woman standing before him belonged to another generation and another role. A symbol can travel across time faster than memory, linking those who have lived through similar moments even if they never met. In military life and beyond, symbols hold the power to remind us of those who came before, those who walked beside us, and those who follow after. They carry values and sacrifices, often in ways that plain language cannot capture. The woman may not have spoken about her past, yet her tattoo carried a story that the general instantly recognized. That recognition created a connection bigger than rank, age, or experience. It formed a bridge that reminded everyone present that history does not fade when uniforms change. It simply finds new carriers. Symbols invite us to respect where others have been, to learn from the journeys they walked, and to honor the resilience that shaped them. Through that understanding we gain not only knowledge but a deeper appreciation for the unseen bonds that tie people together even in the most structured and disciplined environments. Leadership often reveals itself not through grand speeches or commanding presence but through the ability to notice what others overlook. When the general saw the tattoo, something shifted inside him. He was no longer looking at someone performing a routine task. He was seeing a person with a story, a past, and a depth that demanded recognition. True leadership begins at the moment someone chooses to see beyond positions and uniforms. It is easy to acknowledge those who stand in the spotlight, those whose achievements are loudly celebrated. The greater challenge is recognizing strength in the quiet ones, the ones who do their work without seeking attention. When a leader notices hidden resilience, unspoken experience, or silent dedication, it changes the entire environment. People feel valued, and that sense of acknowledgement becomes a spark that fuels discipline and pride. The general's reaction shows that leadership is not only about giving orders but also about honoring the unseen journeys carried by the people under those orders. When leaders look closely, they find stories that enrich the community and remind everyone that respect must flow in every direction, not just from lower ranks upward. Courage often exists in forms that never shout for notice. The woman in the mess hall carried her bravery quietly, without medals pinned to her chest or stories recited to the room. Her tattoo hinted at moments she had lived through, choices she had made, and challenges she had faced long before stepping into the role others saw. Many people walk through life carrying struggles no one knows, and their silence does not diminish the weight of those experiences. Instead, it reveals a different kind of strength, one built on endurance rather than display. When we begin to understand that courage is not always loud, we change the way we judge others. We learn to pay attention to small details, to the calm posture of someone who has faced storms, to the steady rhythm of someone who has rebuilt themselves. This awareness makes us more compassionate and more connected to the people around us. The woman's tattoo served as a reminder that bravery is often woven into ordinary lives, carried gently by those who have no intention of proving anything. Her presence showed that heroism can live in quiet corners, waiting only for someone perceptive enough to recognize it. In places built on routine and order, moments of human connection often arrive without warning. The scene in the mess hall broke the familiar rhythm that everyone had grown used to. A general, usually composed and deliberate, reacted with genuine surprise when the tattoo caught his eye. That single reaction chipped away at the heavy walls of hierarchy. It reminded everyone present that beneath ranks and responsibilities, people share the same heartbeat of experience. Systems may divide roles clearly, but life has a way of pulling those walls closer together. When routine is interrupted by recognition or emotion, it becomes easier to see each other as individuals rather than titles. The general's dropped tray transformed the room for a moment. It showed that even those at the highest level can be moved by a connection they did not expect. This kind of moment teaches that respect and understanding do not travel only from the bottom upward. They can flow in every direction when people are willing to look beyond duty and notice the depth in front of them. Every person carries a story worthy of attention, yet many of those stories never get told aloud. The woman's tattoo served as proof that life experiences do not depend on rank, salary, or status. They depend on the paths people have walked long before others met them. Her story might have involved sacrifice, loyalty, or a loss she still carried quietly. Whatever it represented, it held meaning strong enough to echo across the room without a single word spoken. When we begin to understand that everyone around us holds memories, battles, and journeys, our perspective widens. We stop assuming that importance belongs only to those with authority or recognition. We start seeing value in the quiet endurance of the people who move through the background of daily life. A simple symbol on her skin invited a moment of reflection that rippled outward to everyone watching. It reminded them that respect is not tied to position. It is tied to humanity. When people learn to notice the stories carried by others, a deeper sense of unity forms. This unity does not erase differences but allows them to coexist with dignity, strengthening the bonds that keep a community standing even during difficult times.